Okay, I saw a post on one of the social media sites. They were saying that you are selfish and a narcissist or something like that if you like your own post. So I was curious about that, and I typed in, what does it mean when self-development coaches say be your own cheerleader, but then when you like your own post that you create out of your own creativity, someone says you are self-centered and narcissist for liking your own post. So I guess you're not supposed to like yourself. You're not supposed to like the things that you do for yourself. You're just not supposed to be self-centered, something like that. So one of the answers I received was when self-development coaches encourage individuals to quote unquote be your own cheerleader. They are advocating for self-compassion, self-encouragement, and self-validation. This means believing in oneself, acknowledging one's achievements, and celebrating personal successes without constantly seeking external validation. Like, you don't need someone from the outside to say you're all that in a bag of chips, because you can believe that from within your own soul, your own heart, that you are all that in a bag of chips without somebody else telling you that. That's what gets us in a lot of trouble of self-hate and jealousy towards others and competing towards others. So it goes on to say, however, when someone criticizes you for liking your own post, calling you self-centered or narcissistic, it may stem from a misunderstanding or misinterpretation. Liking your own post can be seen as a form of self-affirmation or showing support for your own content, which is not inherently narcissistic. It's a way of acknowledging your effort and creativity, much like applauding yourself for a job well done. It's essential to differentiate between healthy self-esteem and narcissism. Healthy self-esteem involves recognizing your worth and abilities without belittling others, whereas narcissism involves an excessive focus on oneself to the detriment of others. I had to think about that for a minute. So let me read this again. Healthy self-esteem involves recognizing your worth and abilities without belittling others, whereas narcissism involves an excessive focus on oneself to the detriment of others. So when you start hurting other people, when you start putting other people down to make yourself look good, when you start belittling people because they don't look like you, walk like you, talk like you, act like you, think like you, believe like you, that's when, I don't know. So ultimately, it's important to trust your own judgment and not let unfounded criticism deter you from practicing self-compassion and self-validation. Being your own cheerleader means embracing self-love and self-acceptance, even in the face of external judgment. So no matter what they say, love yourself, cheer for yourself, be your own cheerleader. And what the outside say, you got a middle finger on the left hand, you have a middle finger on the right hand, or you can use those letters, you can say or use those words EFF, F them. pay other people no attention. Okay, I typed in, I like to see all sides and all perspectives of a situation. And so I said, what is the opposite of this? Another way of looking at it, because you never want to look at a topic or a situation one way, because we're all different and there's many different perspectives, right? So the opposite perspective of this would likely involve discouraging self-compassion, self-encouragement, and self-validation, instead of promoting reliance on external validation and approval. So this approach might emphasize seeking validation and approval from other people, downplaying one's own achievements, and relying on external sources, other people for your self-worth and confidence. It could involve fostering a mindset where individuals feel inadequate without constant affirmation from others, rather than developing a strong sense of self-esteem and self-belief. So I can understand that as well. Like if you need validation from other people, if you need to be said, you don't feel as though the shirt that you have on is beautiful unless somebody else tells you it's beautiful. If somebody else tells you, take that shirt off and go put another one on because they don't like it, and you listen to that and you believe that, that's not self-worth. If you're creating content, if you're creating creativity, if you're creating something that's for your heart, your soul, that someone can, maybe if they can benefit from it, but it makes you feel good, regardless of what an outsider said, regardless of what someone else say, whether they say is good, whether they say is bad, but in your heart you feel it's good. It don't matter what nobody else think. It don't matter what nobody else say. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, as long as you're not putting someone else down and belittling someone else for how they feel about themselves, whether it's to make yourself look better, whether it's you need to get a laugh from other people that makes you feel better. However that is for your MO. But I don't know, I don't get into tearing people down. That's the trip.